What's going on, ERB sports fans? Welcome back to the channel. First of all, before I get started on this particular video, we are going to talk about De'Aaron Fox. You guys know, if you're fans of the channel, I am a huge De'Aaron Fox fan, and yes, oh man, having a rough time of it right now. I could be very optimistic, but I could also be very pessimistic. But before we get into that, I want to thank everybody, especially those of you who showed up in the last month. We got over 1,000 subscribers. We're now at 1,006 subscribers. We're on our way to 2,000. Yes, that was going to take forever, but we're going to keep plugging away. Maybe we'll do some things like a contest or something, a giveaway or something like that. I'm not really sure. I've never really been a big fan of kind of buying subscribers, but again, thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. So yes, let's go into the topic. We're going to talk about De'Aaron Fox. I'll tell you, I really thought he was going to go down as the best king of all time. And when they made the playoffs 2 years ago, and they were 48-34, they were in the Western Conference. First series against the Warriors, took them to 7 games. I was like, oh, they're on the precipice of something great. And the team this year signed DeMar DeRozan. Didn't really help the bench at all. But man, they just have struggled mightily early out of the gates this year. Fired Mike Brown. It's just been a bad season. Been a bad season. They did have a spark when Doug Christie took over. Doug took the team to like an 11-4 record before their most recent loss against the 76ers. But the day before they played the 76ers, all this smoke started about the team potentially trading De'Aaron Fox to maybe a team of his choosing. I guess many people are speculating that is the San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama. I think it'd be a good pairing. Honestly, I think it'd be a really good team for many years to come. Fox is only 27. Victor's like 21. There's a lot of young talent on that team. They need leadership. Many say Fox isn't a leader, so that would be potentially a drawback. I don't think Fox is a bad person. I just don't think he's a get-in-your-face kind of leader that somebody like, who went to the nth degree of being maniacal about details. Somebody like Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Giannis, or perhaps, somebody like, whom I think is, I'm blanking at the moment, Steph Curry. Guys like that, winning is almost the only thing that ever matters to them. Jason Tatum, another guy. I don't know that Fox is that guy. He's a very good player, a star player, almost a superstar. Still doesn't make the All-Star team because he's in Sacramento and they aren't one of the top teams in the West. But got a couple other ones to show. So I had a collection of Fox cards. I had a lot of Fox cards. I have way more than many people share of Fox cards. Are they going to be worthless in the next couple of years? Well, I don't think so. But people can sour on him in a heartbeat. I mean, they were already sour on him because they said, I'm not going to touch him until he gets in a big market. Well, San Antonio, not a big market. But Victor, a very marketable star, going to be on Christmas for 10 plus years to come, going to be on tons of national television games. Fox is going to get a lot of exposure. That could be good for him. But that also assumes that that's where he's going to end up going if he doesn't re-sign with the Kings. The NBA trade deadline is literally 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Come on, get it right. 6 days away. We're down to crunch time here. This team was 24-22 going into last night's game against the Sixers, and they blew it. But that was the day after all the Fox hoopla came around and really just a bunch of smoke was thrown up in the air. I don't know what's going to happen. I love that purple. I love the red. If he ends up on a different team, do I say, yeah, it's not going to be great for his cards? I don't know. I mean, you look at somebody like Kevin Durant. I mean, shoot, that guy's been around the league more than anybody. And he's got a Supersonics jersey on his rookie card. People don't seem to care about that. But Steph Curry, I mean, heck, he doesn't even have a logoed rookie card because that was like in a 2009 year when Topps was sort of like in and out of basketball. People don't seem to care about that. I'm sure there's a bunch of other good players. Tyrese Halliburton had kind of a down year, but another guy, Kyrie Irving, another guy, jumped around a lot. So where do you think Fox is going to go in terms of being not only a star player in this league? Do you think he's going to regress to be more average and just a cog in a machine? Or do you think he's on the precipice? Yeah, that's the right word. Where he's on the cusp. We'll go with cusp. I can say that better. That he's on the cusp of greatness if you just pair him with the right person. If you pair him with Victor and they stay a Spur for a long, long time, is that going to be what's going to vault him to superstardom, to multiple playoff runs, to deep playoff runs? I would have to think so. And the only reason I say that is because for all of you Victor lovers out there, I mean, I don't know. If obviously Victor could move off the Spurs, but he's probably going to get a max extension every single time they can offer it. The Spurs are a historic franchise. I don't think he's going to go anywhere as long as they keep him with good talent around him. Then he won't go to a bigger market like a Chicago or New York or LA or some other city that, Miami or wherever. So I think part of me says I'm optimistic. I'm sad because I'm a Kings fan too. I watch a lot of Kings basketball, but mainly I'm watching for De'Aaron. And last night, God, I just didn't feel like his heart was in it. He just kind of seemed like he was going through the motions out there, like he was expecting by halftime to be traded. And it's never an easy thing to do, right? You look at all these star players, Peyton Manning finished his career in Denver. Tom Brady finished his career in Tampa Bay. They played for two franchises. I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox is Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, but he's played 8 years for the Kings. This is his 8th year. He was loyal to that franchise through thick and thin. They were getting good. He requested they continue to improve the roster, and they made some real bad blunders by picking up guys like Kevin Huerter, Chris Duarte, JaVale McGee, Doug McDermott, Jordan McLaughlin, Colby Jones, Davion Mitchell. The list goes on and on and on. Yes, they have found a few diamonds in the rough. They found Malik Monk, brought him back from basically a non-existent career to a very, very good player in this league. And probably if Fox ever left, he'd be the best player on that team. Besides Sabonis. I forgot about Sabonis. So you got Sabonis, Sabonis, Monk, DeMar. Why are the Kings not better this year? Keegan Murray has regressed. Kevin Huerter stinks. The bench is terrible. And if they lose guys for an extended period of time, whether it be Monk, Sabonis, Fox, DeMar, the team struggled to win because the bench pieces are not good at all. They're just not good. They gave away their draft pick, Davion Mitchell, for nothing. They gave away 2 second-round picks to the Pacers for Chris Duarte and then used 2 more second-round picks to get Chris Duarte off the books in the DeMar DeRozan trade. So they've lost 4 second-round picks. Now, those may not have a ton of value, but honestly, they do have value. So the front office there has got to go. Monty and Will, Wes Wilcox, getting tongue-tied here. Monty and Wes, they got to go. I know they brought you Keon Ellis. I know they found guys like Malik Monk when nobody wanted him. But with the same time you're finding those one or two guys, you're getting 3 or 4 guys that just do not work out. You've hamstrung yourself from a draft pick standpoint. They don't have any second-round picks left. They have half their first-round picks left. They're just not going to make any moves. Kevin Huerter used to have value. Now his value, he plays like 10 minutes a night. He doesn't do anything. His three-point percentage is plummeted. Keegan Murray, plummeted. That's the reason they're losing games, is because they can't rely on guys like Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray to pick up the offensive load when Fox or DeRozan or somebody else like that has an off night. Now, could Fox play better? Absolutely. And I know I'm rambling here, but just kind of want to get you guys my thought process on this. If De'Aaron Fox leaves the Sacramento Kings, from a sports card perspective, I think people will finally start paying attention to him if he does a good job out of the gate, has a playoff run, even though he'll be the number 1B or 2 on a team like the Spurs. He won't be the star. He's not going to be relied upon to be the star, not the face of the franchise, kind of like a Jaylen Brown is, kind of like Klay Thompson was. But I think he's a better version of Klay Thompson, and I think he's right there with neck and neck with Jaylen Brown. I mean, I don't think, flip a coin, who's better? Many people would probably say Jaylen Brown, but I still think De'Aaron has more upside because he's a better scorer. But Jaylen Brown's a really good player. So Darius Garland, another guy. I think Fox is better than Darius Garland. If you put Donovan Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox on the same team, like the Cavs right now, they'd be an awesome team. Darius Garland's getting a ton of reps right now, ton of national media buzz. Even Evan Mobley. I think they put 3. I believe they put 3 Cavs on the All-Star game. Mitchell, Mobley, and Garland. The Kings didn't get any for the second straight year. So I know I rambled there, but my premise is if Fox goes somewhere else, I do think he's going to thrive. I think he's going to get a card bump, and I think he's finally going to win a playoff series for some team, maybe the Spurs, maybe the Rockets, maybe the Magic, maybe the Heat. Don't know any other teams beyond that would be interested. I'm sure a lot of teams would be interested, but he's not going to win other than maybe a handful of teams that are maybe one player away. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Stay tuned for more content as always. Appreciate you guys subbing for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Really appreciate that. We'll do some rip videos here in a little bit. Got a couple of boxes from my Alaska trip. So thanks again, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.